Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is flushing out all of the Christophobes, and here they come. This one from Salon. They're completely losing it in their war against Christians and defense of Islam. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is Doug in Exile. Thank you guys for watching. This is where all the happy people are. You should subscribe. You'll be happier. Headline: Salon, MAGA, and Christian nationalism. Bigger threat to America than Hamas could ever be. They're saying we're worse than terrorists. And by the way, Christian nationalism, don't get fooled by that word. It just means that we think that Christ is above a nation. He's higher than a nation, has higher authority. That's all. Remember, they don't believe in a separation of church and state. They want an theocracy. They want the removal of God, which the founders never intended. They remove Christianity from government, but they replace it with paganism and atheism, and that is an establishment of a religion, a secularist religion. The world inches closer to a war that only psychopaths want to see. On Tuesday, the FBI issued a warning that the chance of a staged terrorist attack in the U.S. has grown since the war in Gaza. Bipartisanship, once seen as a laudable goal on many issues, is now sneered at by most remaining members of the Republican Party. I'll prove that wrong, that it's only Republicans. Working with Democrats for them is like choosing death over a slice of cake. I got a challenge for you. How many Democrats out there will work with Christians who are against same-sex marriage? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, how many Democrats out there will work with pro-life people? How many? Oh, not so many. Not so many. How many Democrats will work with people who are not for the global climate change hysteria? How about the ones that want to drill for fossil fuels? Oh yeah, that's just what I thought. How about the ones that want school choice? Any school choice Democrat? Oh, okay. So it's not just Republicans that don't want to work with the other side. And to call out just Republicans is for Salon to lie. Now, this author is an actual liar. He used to write for Playboy. So he's a smut peddler. And now he's writing for Salon. So there'll be no truth in this article, but there'll be a lot of fun. While the world burns, Johnson and the MAGA wing of the Republican Party, which seems to have swallowed the evangelical movement while also embracing the darkest verses in the Bible. This is so ignorant. Apparently pushing for apocalypse with an enthusiasm only rivaled by Saul's slaughter of Christians before he changed his name to Paul. Now, who's pushing the apocalypse more? Where's the end time scenario in An Inconvenient Truth, where Al Gore said the world would end? It would be put underwater by 2012. AOC, world will end by 2020. Bill Gates, Barack Obama. It's you people that push the apocalypse and claim there's an end times event coming. Greta Thunberg, it's the end of the world. You guys have your secularist, religious apocalypse. The House of Representatives, now run by Johnson, offers a discount version of the apocalyptic orgasm by the holy rollers that have dreamed for years. They've renewed the Inquisition and seem determined to convert the U.S. into a theocracy run by people who will thump you with the Bible but haven't read much of it. This guy is such an asshole, I can barely even believe it. I read the Bible every day. In fact, I just finished reading through it again last month. I love the Bible. It is God's word. This guy, he not only hasn't read the Bible, I don't think he's even read any book on logic or reason. I think the only book he's read is somewhere between Mein Kampf and Das Kapital. Lord, how they love to preach fire and brimstone, but the Sermon on the Mount and the Beatitudes, forget it. Matthew 25:40 says, whatever you did it for one of these brothers and sisters, you've done it for me. Now he's quoting Matthew 25:40. I'd like to hear his position on extracting human life from a mother's body and what he does with it, as far as the least of these, without a voice, with no one to defend them. I'm sure he's for in the name of healthcare. They've embraced only the Old Testament angry God and the apocalyptic parts of Revelation brought on by kids today are terrified of the end of the world because why? Public schools pushed end times theology of the environmentalist movement. Kids are right now currently horrified. They're not horrified by reading Revelation. None of them even read Revelation anymore. They want no separation of church and state. They want an isolationist country surrounded by walls and dedicated to the proposition that the First Amendment guarantees them the right to worship any way they want while forcing the rest of us to worship the way they choose. This is once again all bull. This goes on and on. This is not a generous article. I can't even read the rest of it. It's so stupid and typical and boring. And I've read it 1,000 times before by other secularists because they're so consistently anti-Christian. The one thing that they learned by 9/11 is it made Islam America's favorite religion by the left. Here's the White House government statement from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on President Biden's establishment of a first ever national strategy to counter Islamophobia. Yes, they call us a country of Islamophobes because Kamala Harris, Karine Jean-Pierre, Joe Biden, you're Christophobes. And there will never be a panel from you guys on ending Christophobia. Thank you guys for watching right here. There's no despair because we're in God's hands. I'm Doug in exile.